Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel for another episode of the walk around. Today we've got something quite special. It is one of the first S1000RRs that we are going to be stocking here at Dewet&Bikes. As you guys can see, the showroom floor is looking absolutely spiff. We've got a lot of nice bikes going on in here. But yeah, as we always do, we're going to cover all the bikes that we can. Today we're actually going to be getting through quite a few of them. We're going to do 5 bikes today. So yeah, all of these videos are going to be taken one after the other. So if things look a little bit similar, that's why. But yeah, anyways guys, to get to the point, this is a 2011 BMW S1000RR. Quite possibly one of the most, if not the most popular 1000cc bike on the market right now. I mean, they are absolutely crazy on social media. You can't go a single day without seeing one of these on your social media. That's just how it is. They are extremely popular bikes, and for good reason. They look good, they're powerful as well, and they sound really nice. So unfortunately guys, I don't have a price on this off the top of my head. We don't have a price board for it because it was just brought into stock, but I'll pop the price up on the screen for you guys, as well as the mileage, just so that you guys can have that information. But yeah, anyways guys, if it's your first episode here at the walk around, what it is essentially is, it's me, Big Red, do a lot of reviews for Dewet&Bikes, take their bikes out, review them, make sure everything is running perfectly on them. So I have a decent track record when it comes to riding bikes, and I've reviewed probably 30, and I've probably ridden over 60 different bikes. So yeah, that's that. And basically today in the walk-arounds, I'm basically just going to be giving you a little bit of extra information if you're an interested buyer, or if you just want to find out a little bit more about this bike. So first things first guys, I do want to start making a little bit of a category list where it's going to be A, B and C. And what that's going to be for is, it's almost going to class the bikes, A being beginner, B being intermediate, and C being you need quite a lot of experience to be able to ride the given bike. So for argument's sake, we've got a Duke 125 over there. That would obviously fall under the A category because it is a very beginner friendly bike. And then moving on to something like the 690 there, where I would say if you've got a little bit of riding experience, you can probably jump on that and you'll be quite fine. Whereas with what we have today, I would definitely place it in the C category. And if there was a D category, it would most likely be in there. I feel like that's more reserved for like the CX-14s, the Hayabusas, H2s, stuff like that. But anyways, today, as I said guys, we've got a C-class bike. So if you've got no riding experience, you've got no business looking at this. However, at the end of the day, it is all up to you. All we can do is point you in the right direction. First things first guys, we're going to talk about the looks. And I mean, it's such a unique, sharp looking bike. I never really had a liking towards the BMWs, especially the newer ones. I do think that these older ones actually look a little bit better, in my personal opinion. However, something that I absolutely love about this generation in particular is these asymmetrical headlights. Say what you want. A lot of people love them. A lot of people hate them. It's kind of one or the other. I love them. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Again, just such sharp lines on the bike from the nose all the way down into the gills. That's one of the more iconic parts of the bike. You know, coming back onto the tail, again, also quite iconic. Just all in all guys, it looks absolutely beautiful. We've got quite a few carbon accents on here. I just think it's an extremely well balanced bike. You know, from front to end, the profile is perfect. It looks absolutely awesome. As I said, I was never a fan of the BMWs. However, after seeing this, I'm definitely interested in them. And I did actually take it out for a test ride when we were doing the process of buying it. And that also surprised me quite a lot. I really do like the way these things ride. However, I will get onto that a little bit later on in the video. All in all guys, as I said, it's just a beautiful looking bike. It's super clean, mint condition. You know, we've got super cool things here like these indicators. Again, we'll get to that. But all in all, it's just an absolutely beautiful looking bike, and I absolutely love what the previous owners have done with this thing. Now moving on to the next thing guys, I want to talk about the comfort, because it's kind of a highlight on this thing for me. I must say it is a very comfortable bike. It does have it has the tallest seat out of all of the 1000, so it is a little bit tall. However, just the way that the bike is balanced, it's very, very well balanced. It's nice and easy to move, low center of gravity. Again, that seat is very, very comfy. It's nice and squishy. It's not too thick. Although it's quite high off the ground, it's very, very accessible. Not too much pressure on the wrists. I will say that the tank grips definitely play a role in helping with that sort of thing. I think I spent maybe 10 minutes on it in total. But yeah, even with that being said, it was super, super comfy. Nothing standing out necessarily, you know. I didn't notice pain on the neck, pain on the wrists, or anything like that. I do love the positioning of the foot pegs. Although it's quite far back, it feels pretty natural. And the way, when you're looking at the bike, it does look like you're quite leaned over, but it's not as aggressive as, let's say, the R1s. I found the R1 to be very, very aggressive. This one is similar, just slightly more relaxed. Overall, very, very, very comfortable bike, and it's very smooth as well. On the note of comfort, it's a very, very smooth bike, shifts very smoothly, accelerates very smoothly. I love the Brembos on there. You can definitely feel that difference between the Brembos and the Tossicos, or the NF, whatever it's called. Funny enough, this is actually the only 1000cc bike that I haven't done a review on, so yeah, forgive me if I'm lacking a little bit of information for you guys, but yeah, it's just purely because I actually haven't been able to ride one of these. But yeah, as I said, purely just off of those little 10 minutes that I spent on it, I will say that it's not the most comfortable. I'll definitely put the ZX10 above it. But yeah, I'd say it's definitely more comfortable than the R1. I think it's kind of a 50-50 when you're comparing it to the CBRs. I think it comes down to personal preference there, you know, depending on how you want to be positioned on the bike. But yeah, as I said, in general, very, very comfy bike. These next two things, because I haven't ridden the bike, I'm not going to be able to talk too much on them. However, I'm going to do my best. Maneuverability. I will say it is one of the most willing bikes, and I'm speaking in terms of going into corners. It's reminded me of the Daytona. Actually, it just wanted to dive into those corners. Obviously, you have to think about what tires you're running with, you know, things like that. But in general, it was very willing, and it's a very well balanced bike. I found it quite easy to be throwing it around the road and flinging it in and out of the traffic there. Very, very maneuverable. I mean, it's popular for a reason, guys, you know, and I can say the same thing when it comes to looks and when it comes to comfort and acceleration and power. It's popular for a reason. It's not popular for no reason. I mean, I'm sure you guys will see what some people get up to on these things, wheeling them like crazy, doing stoppies on them. I mean, if you just look at Jigsaw, he basically rides this thing like it's a little 600cc. They are very, very nimble, very maneuverable, and I think, you know, the power actually plays a role in that. It's something that I also speak about on the other bikes where, you know, maneuverability doesn't necessarily only come down to the weight of the bike and the ergonomics. Something that you also have to take into account is your acceleration, because the less acceleration you have, the less nimble and the less zippy a bike is going to feel. The more acceleration you have, you know, you get the point. So following the maneuverability, we're going to get onto the power, and I think this bike speaks for itself in that category. If you are looking at drag racing bikes, it is most common that you're going to see. This is probably the most common drag bike that you're going to see on those roads, and again, it's for good reason. Put a stretch swing arm on this thing, lower that front suspension, and you've got an absolute drag weapon. So the power output on these things is crazy. Arguably even more so in the earlier generations. Again, I'm not too clued up on the whole S1000 lore, but most of the time I hear people saying that the older generations, the first generations, are actually more exciting, should I say, because of that power output and also the lack of electronic aid. However, on this one we do have ABS, traction control, and all those sorts of wonderful things. So nonetheless, guys, same situation with the maneuverability. Unfortunately, I can't speak too much on it, but from what I've seen online, they are crazy bikes. From what I've seen in terms of drag racing, they are really, really fast. So yeah, I mean, again, just all you have to do is just go onto Instagram and you'll see what these things are capable of, because they are so popular. Last but not least, I do just want to talk about the modifications. So obviously you guys can see we've got a lot of carbon accents, mainly this front fender. We've got some on the tank over here, as well as the rear seat cowl, and we've got a whole belly pan that is actually full carbon, as well as our little rear fender over here. Coming back to the front of the bike, we've got some very cool, I actually haven't seen it before, but these indicators integrated into the BMW logo. That looks super cool, it's nice and clean, and yeah, looks super neat. I'm a huge fan of that actually. We've got an aftermarket and tinted windscreen. We have got a full system. I don't want to say that it is a full acro because I can't confirm nor deny, but it does have a full system with a nice little acro muffler on there, which looks super good on the bike. We've got some very nice, it's basically to adjust your chain tension. So these work absolutely beautifully. I mean, you can get your chain tension, you can adjust your chain, you can adjust your chain tension. Why am I struggling with that so much? You can adjust your chain tension by the millimeter essentially. I mean, you guys can see over here, it's literally by the millimeter, and obviously you need to match this side with that side, so getting that balance just makes it that much easier. I love these. It's definitely something that I want to get on my own personal bike, because not only does it look good, but it's functional and it works absolutely amazingly. Love that. Probably my favorite modification on the bike, in fact. As you can see over here, we have got an SF Sprint air filter, so that's definitely going to boost your performance a little bit. With that sort of thing and with the exhaust, I'm going to assume that there is a tune on it, so yeah, even spicier if you ask me. We've obviously got the rear stand pins over there. We've got a beautiful quick shifter, although it is not a modification. It's something that I like to mention because this quick shifter is beautiful. When you shift, bang, I love it. I love it. So 10 out of 10 for that. We've got some very nice tank grips. I love what they've done here with this, especially going onto the little wrap with the carbon fiber wrap. It works so well. I don't know who had this thing, but they took a lot of time and effort to really just make this thing look absolutely awesome, and they did an excellent job. Only thing that I would do is maybe get a different seat, get a little bit of a rear bolster going over there, get something nice and fancy schmancy going over there. And normally I'm not a fan of the stock mirrors, however these actually just work pretty damn well on this thing. We've also got the frame sliders on the front wheels, so that is going to provide a little bit of protection. Ultimately though, you would like to get some frame sliders that bolt into here or there, and that'll actually protect all of this beautiful stuff that we've got going on over here. All I can say is that it's actually just an absolutely beautiful bike. I mean, to put it simply, as I said to you guys, I was never interested in the BMWs. I never understood the hype. However, getting on one, riding one, seeing one in person that looks this good has definitely changed my mind, and it will definitely be a bike that I own in the future. So to finish things off, guys, I'm going to get a little startup going for you here. And I mean, listen to that. Absolutely bonkers. It almost sounds like it's cam. Sounds absolutely awesome. They give it a little rip, it's cold. Sounds absolutely awesome. And as I said, guys, you've got your traction control, your ABS, you've got lap timers, you've got heated grips. Do you have heated grips? I'm pretty sure these are heated grips. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure they are heated grips. Just overall an absolute awesome machine, and an absolute weapon at that. So yeah, guys, I hope I was able to answer a few questions if you had any questions. And again, I apologize for the lack of information on my side, purely because I haven't ridden this, or I've ridden it but I haven't reviewed it, so I can't give you guys a real idea in terms of how this thing rides and a few other aspects. All in all, as I said, beautiful bike. It's definitely going to be one that I'm going to add to my bike collection one day. I actually specifically like this 2011 model. I know there's Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. So yeah, I'm really liking this generation. However, I think if I was to get something like this, I would most likely go and turn off the ABS and traction control and wada. I do prefer the bikes to be as raw as possible. So there you have it. That's another episode of the walk around with yours truly, Big Red. hope you guys all enjoyed, and if you have any extra questions, just pop them down in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah guys, I'll catch you all in the next episode, which I haven't decided yet, but it's probably going to be that beautiful 690 over there. We'll get that little walk around and take a closer look into what an awesome build that thing is. So yeah, that's it from me today guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.